Welcome back to Choice 2012 here on WBKB News. I'm Marisa McKay, and joining me as always is instructor of political science history here at Alpena Community College, Tim Kuehnlein. Now, Tim, Social Security and Medicare, both very involved issues, very big issues. Now, starting with Social Security, both candidates have been out touting their opinions on this. What are some of the choices and some of the implications based on the votes that you could cast regarding Social Security?
Well, with Social Security, definitely it's pertinent to our local community because we have so many elderly people here. And the real issue is long-term solvency. The big question is where will we be in 2033? By 2035, the estimates are that 1/3 of our population will be on Social Security and Medicare, 1/3 of our population. And 90% of current recipients are already relying on this as their full income, Social Security. So the real question here is, as baby boomers, the baby boom generation retires, who's left to pay the cost? Because it's a pay-it-forward system. And we obviously have gaps of revenue and costs. And this gap has to be reconciled. You add to this that Congress has been borrowing from the Social Security Trust Fund to pay for our larger deficits in national debt. And so we are left with choices, higher payroll taxes, or other revenue sources for those who are younger and remain working, balanced with decreases in benefits for current recipients, and largely the wealthy who can provide for themselves in other ways. We have to remember that this was designed as a supplementary income, not a full income, and not for everyone initially. And well, we have to reconcile this now.
Definitely, and in that response, you did bring up the idea of Medicare, and also the idea that in our community we do have a lot of retirees and older people living in Northeast Michigan. So, and moving into Medicare, again, both sides touting changes, touting proposals to sort of mend the situation. What are the implications of a vote for Obama or for Romney regarding Medicare?
Well, it's a similar problem, a more pressing one perhaps, because of the skyrocketing costs of health care, and particularly for the most vulnerable population, our elderly, when they need this health care coverage the most. And the question is, how can they pay for it without the types of supports that Medicare provides? So we're left with a choice between reform, that is dealing with age qualifications, scope of coverage, means testing, things of that sort, versus a voucherization, albeit for the next generation. But nonetheless, it's an altogether different type of system. And well, I think it really gets down to this question of the elderly population today and the soon-to-be retired population of baby boomers who are most likely to vote, making decisions that are going to impact younger people like us. And the question is, will we be able to afford the costs of the pay-it-forward for this large retired population? And furthermore, will the benefits be there in similar scope when we're ready to retire?
Definitely. I mean, and you bring up the idea that they are making decisions that will impact us, which is all the more reason for our generations to get out there and vote. So if you join Tim and I next week on Choice 2012, we will not only be discussing the importance of voting and of casting a knowledgeable vote, but also going over some of those local issues impacting us here in Northeast Michigan. Stay tuned.